Good evening, Hawks fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Atlanta Sports District. I am your host, Russell Spence. I am bringing you episode 16 of the Atlanta Sports District directly after a really amazing game for the Hawks, but also a very troublesome game for the Kings, where we ended up winning 133 to 100. Let's get into how that unfolded. So we come out with the lineup that we have been deploying when Trey's been out, when we've been healthy. So Nall was back at point guard, Dyson at the 2, Zach at the 3, Jalen's at the 4, and KP is at the 5. We began the game moving the ball very well, but the defense was still a little bit shaky. But they were missing shots. And because of that, we were up 13-6 pretty early. When the defense started improving, we got a couple of runouts. Our first timeout was taken. The first time out of the game was taken when the Hawks were up 18-8 and the Kings take a timeout. After the out of timeout, they run their out of timeout play that leads to a shot clock violation. That sums up the entire night for the Sacramento Kings. It was a very, very poorly run game from Sacramento. Yes, Atlanta was good in this game, but more so, Sacramento was very bad in this game. So they get this shot clock violation. Right after that, we have a long period of really wonderful, consistent defense with consistent effort. We had a couple of freak plays where Dyson missed some bunnies. He's still been doing that, where he's got easy layups at the rim and he's missing them. He missed 2 of those. One from an amazing full court pass from Jalen. And then right after that, we had a charge on Jalen, and it kind of put what was going on in limbo. We were playing well, and they're not playing very well, but we're not really pulling away very well. Right after Jalen gets that charge, Dyson misses another bunny. And then right after that, the lineup gets pulled and they put in a Keaton, Kennard, Veet lineup. It was Keaton, Kennard, and Veet with Onyeka and Mo. Just because you have Onyeka and Mo on the floor does not mean that that's going to be a good defensive lineup. And that lineup got torched. We gave up most of the lead, and mostly because we could not protect the paint. Because when you have, let's say, Keaton's guarding the ball, and it's Dennis Schroeder, and he attacks and gets to the paint, and then he kicks. Well, Mo steps over and helps. Well, now Mo is out of position if that next person blows by his man and gets to the rim. He doesn't have time to get back over and re-help. We can't have multiple players who are getting blown by. And so that's what was happening in this section, where like Schroeder would drive to the basket, and then somebody would step over and help, and they'd dish it to Devin Carter, and then Devin Carter would drive to the basket, and then they'd kick it to a wide open guy, and he shoots it and makes it, or Devin Carter gets all the way to the rim, lays it up. Carter, I thought, played pretty well today, but that unit in the end of the first quarter really got blown by, and because of that, we lost our entire lead, and we ended the first quarter up 37-34. We made an adjustment starting the second quarter where we kept Mo on the floor, which I like, extending Mo's minutes. I like this. That same lineup was still the one that was on the floor, though, and it was struggling to score. If you're going to play a Keaton, Veet, Kennard lineup, they got to score. And it was not happening tonight. And that's where, again, me looking at our team, we have our offense working the best when it's easy because the defense is leading to easy offense. That's when we're playing best offensively. So just saying like, oh, well, we'll put Kennard, Veet, and Keaton on the floor, and then like the offense will be fine. It's like, no, that's not really how it works. Like that doesn't guarantee, it's not guaranteed that they're going to make shots. But what I can guarantee that is if you put a great defensive lineup on the floor, you will get stops because great defenders get stops. And then you can turn those stops into easy looks at the other end that we, as NBA players, will make. If you get a wide open three as an NBA player, most of the time you make that. If you get a wide open layup or wide open dunk in transition, you're going to be a player. You make that. And so that's where I'm kind of wanting these defensive lineups to kind of spiral. And again, when Trey comes back, you still play these defensive lineups because he can help the offense in the half court, and we'll still get these transition opportunities from the great defenses being played. So we started slowly filtering in our starting unit again. We slowly sub in this guy, sub in Jalen, sub in Zach. It was over time. And when that happened, the offense started to slowly ramp up. And so a lot of times you would think, oh, it's because they're better players or they're more skilled players. No, it was actually because the defense was improving, because you were taking off Kennard, you were taking off Veet, you were taking off Keaton. And so then when the defense got better, the shots got easier. This led to huge amounts of transition points. And they were also leaving Jalen from three a lot. It was almost like they said, we have to give up something, and we'll give up a wide open three to Jalen Johnson because we don't think he can shoot it. And he made them tonight, which was good to see. But when that started happening, when you started seeing the defense leading the transition, and we just kept having that happen over and over and over again. Defensive stop to transition bucket. Defensive stop to transition bucket. Defensive stop to easy look. Defensive stop to easy look. That happened for the entire second quarter, and the lead grew to 20 by the end of the quarter. We won the second quarter 29-12. It was a huge quarter. It pretty much said, all right, we now win at that moment. Going into half, we were up 66-46. So the third quarter starts, and I just wrote, this team is very, very, very bad. The Kings are really poorly constructed. How many times did I count? I started losing count. But times where Russell Westbrook in 2025 was playing power forward on the floor, guarding Jalen, guarding Mo. That's a poorly constructed roster. If you are having to put Russell Westbrook as your 4 ever under any circumstances, your general manager has done a very bad job. And that's what's happened to the Sacramento Kings. And I honestly found myself feeling tremendously terrible for their viewers and their fans, because the entire second half was not fun to watch. It was the Hawks just beating them to death because they couldn't handle it. They're playing 4 guards and Domantas Sabonis. There was a cool play where Zach took off from very far away and left-handed dunked, which I've never seen him from that far left-handed. I've seen him every once in a while go up with his left, but that was a freaky dunk. That's the kind of thing when people say he's not super high upside, I go, if you think that, you've never seen this kid as an athlete. He's a freaky athlete, and also he's pretty skilled. He has great touch around the rim. He's a great three-point shot. He's going to be just fine. He got up to a little bit of a slow start to start this season, but he is also a 20-year-old kid. He's going to be awesome. So, right after that, I wrote, they have 55 points halfway through the third quarter. To remind you, we had 66 at halftime. Again, this roster is really, really bad. The Kings are really, really, really bad. Might be in the running for worst team in basketball. Kind of bad. Especially if they have injuries and stuff for these old guys. Then it could get all-time bad. Right after that, we put in that same Veet, Kennard, Keaton lineup that I don't like. And Veet began to enjoy the hacking of players. He does this a lot. His defense honestly isn't that bad. He is in the right place. He's doing the right thing. He's rotated correctly. He's where he's supposed to be. He has moved his feet. And then he will slam his hands against somebody's body in a hand check. Or he will slap somebody right across the head while he's going for a block or a shot. I'm like, he loves hacking people. And he got 4 fouls quickly in the third quarter. I mean, like 3 straight trips down the floor. It was like foul on Veet, foul on Veet, foul on Veet. If he would clean that up, the defense would actually be a lot better because he's actually not out of place. He just fouls people a lot. So I would love to see him clean that up a little bit. By the end of the third quarter, we were up 105-68. We won the third quarter 39-22, which means we won the second and third quarters both by 17 points. I don't know if I've ever seen that. That's really bad. That's like 07, 08, 09 Bobcats. Bad. In the fourth quarter, we went into our bag of tricks and we're just trying stuff. We started the fourth quarter with Onyeka KP lineup that I've mentioned many times. I don't like it. I don't think it works. I think it's too slow-footed. I think it's not a good enough passing lineup. But today, it worked because we were playing one of the worst teams I've ever seen. I would hope that maybe our coaching staff can see maybe that was a more proponent of who we were playing rather than that lineup actually working. But you may see them keep trying it. I do not like that lineup. I really hope they do not continue to play that lineup, in my opinion. Right after that, we get some wonderful Caleb Houston minutes. And when you have Caleb Houston minutes in an NBA game for the Atlanta Hawks, that means we are winning by a lot. And pretty much the entire fourth quarter was a crapshoot of both teams playing like pickup basketball. It was really ugly and really awful, and it screeched to a halt at 133-100. Pretty much the only thing I was watching for the entire fourth quarter was, hey, are they even going to get to 100? That's all I care about. And they did. Last shot, Devin Carter hit it, got it to 100. Good job. You were truly awful in this game. And so, yes, I am happy the Hawks played well. I think that, and you'll see some of the players I'm going to talk about played really well. But my overarching take from this game is, oh my goodness, the Kings are really bad. Like, bad. That's some of the worst basketball I've ever seen. That looked like a summer league team. Bad. Okay? So now let's move to the player by player. So, starting with the bench, Asa got in, played pretty well, looked pretty good on defense, hit a 3. Good for him. Caleb Houston got in, hit 2 threes, played well. Fought for some offensive rebounds, some rebounds that I usually... he's playing harder than I thought he was going to. And what he showed in preseason, he's really not. Like, if he had to play some minutes in a game, I wouldn't be perturbed. I think it'd be fine. Do I want that? No, because that means people are injured. But if it had to come to it, I wouldn't, freak out. Moving on to Veet Krejci. Veet had 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. But again, the defense was just hack city. I really hope he gets that figured out. Coming off of the Veet Krejci game where he single-handedly won the game against the Clippers, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm upset about him playing. He needs to play. But just please stop fouling so much. Just don't hack. Stay straight up. Don't reach. Don't hand check. Move your feet. You're in the right place. Trust that you're in the right place. Trust your teammates will have your back behind you. Do not foul. Next, we'll talk about Keaton Wallace. Keaton played 23 minutes, had 4 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, and only 2 turnovers. Honestly, Keaton has been playing a lot better than he was early in the year. But again, this was another example where they have a lot of small guards. Devin Carter is Keaton Wallace sized. Dennis Schroeder is Keaton Wallace size. Keon Ellis is the Keaton Wallace size. So he had somebody always on the floor that he could kind of match up with physically, and then he just matches up with them and plays hard, and he's in the right place, and he does move his feet. And they're bad enough that if a guy moves his feet, all of a sudden they turn it over, they hand it right to him. That happened a few times where he would just free pickpocket because they couldn't handle the pressure that Keaton was able to put on them. So I don't mind him playing in games where we have an opponent that has Keaton-sized players for him to play. It gets a little more rough when the other team is really big. Like when we play Oklahoma City, if we play Keaton, they're huge at every position. Point guard, they are big. Shooting guard, they are big. The smallest player on their team that plays is his brother. And he's way bigger than Keaton. And so, against those people, I might not enjoy seeing as many minutes, but Keaton's been playing well. Next, we'll move on to Mo Gay. Mo only had 2 points in 20 minutes, but had 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. He didn't have a block, but he didn't have a turnover or a foul. And he played great on defense. Mo just makes winning plays. And I don't think that it's a coincidence that in games where he plays significant minutes, which I'm going to call over 20, we win most of those games by a pretty decent margin. Now, you can say, oh, well, he only played that many today because so-and-so and so-and-so. Because of the difference, the changes they made to the rotation, he was going to get 16 to 18 minutes in this game. And during those minutes, we played well. Most of the time. I mean, there was the thing in the second quarter that was a little rough at the end of the first quarter, at the beginning of the second quarter. But then once they kind of subbed other people in, Mo played well again with the other people that were being subbed in. And so I really think that he needs to continue playing more. He is a very good player. I'm going to leave that there for today. Just putting it out there. Next, we'll move to Luke Kennard. He had 13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, only 1 turnover. Kennard just is really rough on defense. And I think there's a lot of overlap between him and Veet. They both shoot the ball well from 3. They both are good handlers and passers. They both are really rough on defense. The difference is Veet Krejci is listed at 6'8". And length is a thing that we want to lean into. In contrast, Luke Kennard is listed at 6'5". Just not as long a player. And so I would be leaning towards playing Veet more and playing Kennard less. I know Kennard makes a lot more money. Makes about $10 million more. Don't care. I don't care about the money. I care about who's the better player. Play the player who's the better player. And right now that's been Veet. Not saying that I don't think he should ever play. I'm saying I would lean more into Veet. And lean less into Kennard. And I would play Mo more than both of them. Moving on to Onyeka. Onyeka played 21 minutes. He had 21 points. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, no blocks, and 3 turnovers. He was really good. But, I mean, when they're not playing Sabonis, you're looking at Drew Eubanks, rookie Maxine Renault, Precious Achiuwa playing center in 2025. I mean, if he hadn't have gone off, I would be concerned about him. And so, yeah, this team is just so bad. I don't know any other way to put it. It's just awful. Moving on to the starters, we'll talk about Dyson first. Dyson had 27 minutes. He had 5 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, and 3 turnovers. If he had made the 4 or 5 bunnies, he'd have had 15 to 20 points. He just missed a lot of easy shots tonight. Didn't come back to bite us, but against a really good team, it would. He's still passing the ball very well, not turning it over. He's still the absolute maniac on defense that he's always been. But he needs some improvement offensively. It's too inconsistent right now. It's nothing I'm really worried about long term. I still think he's a great player. I just think that, the consistency has to build. Just be a more consistent offensive player. If you get an open look, make it consistently. Even if it's a hard layup, even if it's a open three, just start making shots more consistently. Nickeil Alexander-Walker played 22 minutes, had 14 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, and 3 turnovers. He is turning the ball over a lot for his usage. A lot. But it's not killing us. And so I'm okay with it right now. But again, this has been a little bit easier section of our schedule. When we play very good teams, he cannot turn the ball over as much. It will affect us in a negative way. Just bar none. That's not good. You don't need a guy that's technically listed as your point guard having 4 assists and 3 turnovers. You need a better assist to turnover ratio out of a player who's a guard. Next, we'll move on to Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis had 13 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 blocks. KP has been struggling with his shot. And it's a sample size now. I mean, this is game 12. It's a sample size now of enough time where you're like, I wonder if this is going to be a problem for the year. It's getting better at times. Mid-ranger looks a little better. Some of the corner threes and before the above the break threes are going in a little bit more. But his above the break three looks rough right now. It's very short, little flat, and the base is weird. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's just something I'm monitoring because, again, this is a sample size now of 12 games. You would think that he would have at least had one good shooting night from above the break, and that has not happened yet. From a guy that's this level of shooter for his career, you would think that it would be going a different direction at some point. I'll put it that way. Next, we'll talk about Zach. Zach played 22 minutes, had 15 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a block, and only 2 turnovers. He looked really good. Very active on cuts. Very good shooting from the field. Let me go pull it up here. He shot 7 of 8 from the field. The defense was really good. He looks like a guy who, when he's 22, is going to be one of the better players in his role on planet Earth. That's what he looks like. Now, you listen to national media, and they're going to tell you, he's only averaging this many points, and he's been shooting not the ball. They're not watching the game. Watch the games. Watch the kid play. He's really, really good. Really good. And lastly, Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson had 24 points in 24 minutes. That's a pretty good ratio. 10 rebounds, 8 assists, a steal, and only 1 turnover. 8 assists and 1 turnover. He has basically been acting as our point guard. In tonight's game, Jalen Johnson was plus 39 and Zachary Reese, I'll say, were plus 41. That's pretty good. Yeah, I think we're going to win a lot of games if your 2 young studs are doing that. So, moving forward, let's continue to beat bad teams. We have Utah tomorrow. Let's kick the crud out of another bad team. Let's do what we just did to them to Utah. That's what I would like to see us do. Obviously, it might not be a 33-point victory, but I want to see us put the pedal to the metal, show them who's boss, have a 10-point win. Let's show this young team we're a good team and you're not. That's what I would like to see. Moving forward, let me know what you think about this game, whether or not you think it's the Hawks are great or the Kings are bad, or if you think it's both. Give me some ideas of what you think we're actually at, kind of where our actual parameter is, and where you think the Kings might actually end up, because I think it could be really, 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 really bad by the end of the year. one of the worst efforts I've ever seen in an NBA game was that Kings team today. So, yeah, that's all I've got is they're bad, and hopefully we're actually this good. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, and above all else, have a great day.